So my name is Cara Wright. I am a writer. I am the executive assistant coordinator, and I am a voice actor for the show Wizzle Kizzle the Hizzle Shizzle.
I'm Catherine. I am the chief executive of the creative writing department of the show. Yeah. Daniel.
Yeah, pretty much like everybody else. Daniel kind of put something out on Facebook, and we kind of reached out to him, and he kind of gave us a rundown of, what the project was, and he gave us the direction to reach out to Sketch. So that's
he gave us like suggestions of roles that we could play within this new cartoon, and he was like, Sketch needs writers pretty bad.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can only think of a few people who can write and creatively write, so he reached out to us. When he told me about the show, he didn't like specifically like tell me about the show. He made a post about the show. So he made a post about the show, and we all showed some type of interest. Like, what are you posting about? Who is this Zuzu Fresh? What is this? And he was like, oh, it's this cartoon that my man Sketch got. It's brand new, but it's hot. Like, it's futuristic. It's gonna be dope. It got to do with music, blah blah blah. And then he told me that he had already reached out to a couple of people about it, and they were already on board. So I'm like, it gotta be hot if you got this many people on board already.
Same thing as for me. He kind of put a picture of Zuzu on there, and then, like I said, put under that they were looking for writers. So I'm like, oh cool, like I wonder what this is. And like she said, I saw him post something of him before, so I'm like, I wonder what this is. So I kind of got on there, and he, like I said, gave me the rundown of everything. And I'm like, sure, cool. I'll want to be a part of anything. Sure, why not? Like, I love cartoons anyway, and I like writing. Let's go for it.
Previous to this project, I've been writing a lot of homework. In school, like in English classes, we write these great creative writing pieces. I have a ton of poetry. I have a ton of music. I have a couple of like children's books that I've written. They're just in notebooks somewhere, buried deep in a box. But that's about it. This is like my first project that's long term and that's serious with the goal of like being published in live animated.
Kind of the same thing. My dad is really into writing. He has a few books, and he writes for City Beat. So I've been exposed to writing for like ever, and I can remember when I was little, I would always sit in my room and write short stories and have him read them, and it was always cool. So I always loved the idea of being able to write. So this was just a really great opportunity and a really great outlet for me to finally get all my ideas out and be able to work with a team and actually, like she said, see my writing actually come to life was like super cool.
Her dad is my uncle. It just runs in the blood, I guess.
So for me, the push was after I actually sat down with Sketch, and I actually started to understand him as a person and understand his vision and what he wanted, and understanding how fun the cartoon would actually be, and to just be a part of a project with a bunch of great, intelligent, funny people. I was like, sure, I want to do this, whatever it is. I don't care how long it takes. I just want to be there. I want to be able to help and do anything I can do to make sure that we all succeed and we all get to see our work actually out there. It was like great.
I think my push happened when I was editing the script, and Sketch was like, I don't know how to put this in playwright form. I don't know anyone who does, and I just happen to know how to write in playwright form. I took a playwright class in high school, how to write a whole play, and it just happened to stick with me. And I think going through and editing the script and being able to read the script line by line, that intimately, really gave me a view of what Sketch was talking about when we had that Discord meeting, our very first Discord meeting with the rest of the team. The Discord meeting was cool. I was like, yeah, this sounds cool. We read through the script. Oh, okay. But actually sitting down and tearing it apart and dissecting and then Right, and then going back in and writing and adding more creativity is really what gave me that push. That's like, oh, this is real and this could really go places. And I like it. I enjoyed it. It made me happy. So I still do.
I honestly think it kind of goes script writing and storyboarding kind of goes hand in hand as writers. Because as we're writing, we have to develop the characters and write storyboards for the character. Just so that our story kind of flows. So I don't really think for me specifically, there's one that I prefer more than the other. For me, I guess if I had to answer the question, I guess I would say storyboarding, just because
you're definitely amazing at it. She's so good.
Because
I know character profiles and stuff.
Because I know everybody so well, and I kind of get a good grasp on everybody's personalities and what I feel like everybody's capable of doing. So it's really easy for me to be like, oh no, this person should say this because I can picture Rob, which is Kyle, say that exact thing. Like, or I can picture Halo, which is Wizzle, say that exact thing. Like, so it's really fun for me to try to like really develop these characters and make them really fit their personalities, because then I feel like they'll have fun doing it because they feel like it fits them.
For me, I think it's definitely script writing.
That's funny. Has fun writing the script. Yeah.
That's funny. I think I primarily dive into the script versus storyboarding, versus like Cara can dive into storyboarding and do it for hours. I remember at the library you were doing it for hours, and I can sit and dig into the script for hours and I love it. Being able to pull from like TV shows that we've watched and classic literature that we've read and
funny stuff that we see,
plays now. Right, music that we listen to, being able to draw from the inspiration of the things that matter to us and that we find valuable, and then express it in another form is pretty dope to me. I love it when we get to read the script like in the meetings face to face, and it's a new script. So we just read the rest of the edits to episode 2. And it's hilarious when we do the read alouds. And that's like the most fun part, because you see the characters' personalities start to fuse with the actual personalities of the people who are doing the voiceovers.
And even if they're not that actual character that they're reading for, they all still have fun doing it. Like, and everybody's still animated. We still run everything as if that is that character, like, you know, that they're in that exact character. So it's really fun to just see everybody like be so animated and actually get into it. Like, even people, if that necessarily isn't their department or that's not what they necessarily do, even if they're doing a script read, they don't hesitate to be like, ooh, who do I want to be? Like, let me pick somebody. I want to try to read for somebody. Like, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that goes to show like how close knit we are as a crew.
Yeah, and it's really cool because a lot of people that are part of our cast and crew we don't necessarily all live in the same city. So even when we do have meetings over Discord and we're all in meetings, we still all laugh and joke around and play around, and you would never think that all of us don't live in the same city. So it's like really cool. So me personally, because I like doing the characters, I feel like it's very important because I've watched a lot of TV to where it's well written, the story is well put together, but the characters just don't flow together. Like, it doesn't flow, it doesn't make sense. How this character got from here to here just doesn't like coincide with this, and I'm like, to me that everything else could be great, but if that one thing isn't together, that could be the thing that breaks us. Like, and it's also very fun. It's a very fun and lighthearted cartoon. And like I said, I love all of them. So it's very easy for me to try to, create characters and figure out like, oh, I feel like this person would say this, or in this situation we should really have them do this, because in real life I feel like they would really, really do this. Like, it's kind of cool. It's all kind of cool.
It makes it easy to write if the characters are getting along. But I mean, with all great literature, there's like conflict, and then there's like resolve, resolution. So we want to be able to also embody real life trials and tribulations, I would say, in the cartoon as well. So the characters are definitely going to mesh and get along, and
but they're also going to have conflict.
Right, there's also going to be that conflict, that dramatic peak, all of that, just like we have in real life situations. Now we want the characters to mesh well with the voiceover people, like real humans as well. And that's why Cara is stressing the point that it's so important for us to be on the same page in real life and know each other and get to expose who we really are to each other and become like a family, more so like the characters end up doing in the show. Not yet. We do not have any projects extended besides like Daniel and his music.
Yes.
Maybe like Eric might have some music. Other people might have some music.
With his clothing.
With Rob with Nightlife Clothing, definitely. Check him out. If you go follow the page, we pretty much promote everybody else inside that page as well. You can follow links, you can click on tags, you can go to YouTube and look up Daniel's music, his Instagram page, or his Facebook page. You can go find him. Daniel White is his name on Facebook.
Rob's is Rob Shannon.
But eventually everyone will drop music. Most of the characters have musical roles as well. I'm actually the music voice for her voice character. So we'll all have music out eventually. So be on the lookout for that.
Me personally, I don't want people to look at the show and be like, oh my gosh, everything is so intense. Like, I want it to be very, very lighthearted, but I personally also want them to also learn something from the show. No matter if it's, something that we thought was directly in the show that we thought that they would maybe get right off topic that you didn't get. Yeah, something intentional. We still want somebody to get something from everything, because there is going to be an end result, and there is going to be an end moral to the show, to the end of the show. So we want you to be able to, as the characters grow and the story grows, we want the viewers to grow with the characters, because that's what makes you, love a character. That's what gives you the emotional draw to a character.
I feel like we want them to get whatever they need out of the show, if that makes sense. Like when we were children watching Rugrats, it's completely different watching Rugrats as an adult, because what you need out of the show, what you're looking for, expectations of the show are different. So we want viewers to be able to look at the show in different perspectives and be able to walk away with different moral growth in all different areas based on what they need in that situation or that circumstance that they're dealing with at the time. Wizzle Kizzle, the Hizzle Shizzle challenge is to say it 10 times fast and not mess up. If you do it 10 times fast and not mess up and send it to us, we'll send you, what we'll send them?
We can send them a clip of a meeting.
Yeah, we'll send you an inside clip of a meeting. Maybe a script read. That'd be dope. Yeah.
Script read. Let's go for it.
Wizzle Kizzle, the Hizzle Shizzle.
You gotta
challenge.
say it 10 times fast and tag somebody from the show or tag the show.
Wizzle
and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it too.
Shizzle.
We're gonna get the end of everybody.
I can't even make it past 2.
We're all gonna do it too. We're gonna get the end of everybody.
Definitely. Go follow the page, man.
So fresh from Bangladesh. Buddy. I'm so fresh from Bangladesh.